found a knife under my hunting stand. Not just lying there. It was pushed into the ground, blade first, right beneath where I had been sitting that morning. The blade was snapped in half. The handle was dark, worn, and carved into the metal were 3 initials I didn't recognize. At least, not at first. This happened last November, in the forests of Wisconsin. I've been hunting those woods for over 20 years. I know every trail, every dip in the land, every tree that shouldn't be there. My brother Dennis and I built that stand about 5 years ago, just a small wooden platform with a roof, set up at the edge of a clearing where deer usually pass through. That morning, I went alone. Dennis was supposed to come with me, but he texted early, said he was sick. I didn't cancel. I've hunted alone plenty of times. I climbed into the stand just after 7 a.m. thermos of coffee. Rifle across my lap. Everything felt normal, too normal. For the first couple hours, nothing moved. No deer, no birds, not even wind, just silence. Around 9, I unscrewed the thermos, raised it to my mouth, and that's when I saw movement below. At first, I thought it was a deer. So I slowly lowered my eyes. There was a man standing directly under my stand, not off to the side, not walking through, right below me, looking straight up. He was wearing a dark green coat. Hood up, his face was completely in shadow, but I knew he was looking at me. And he wasn't moving, not shifting, not blinking, just standing there watching. I froze. We stayed like that for at least a minute, maybe longer. Then I spoke. I asked him what he was doing out there. No answer. Nothing. I glanced down at my rifle for just a second, and when I looked back, he was gone. No footsteps, no branches snapping, no sound at all, just empty ground. I told myself it was another hunter, a weird one, sure, but still, just a guy. I tried to settle back in, tried to focus, but something was off. The woods didn't feel right anymore. It felt like something was still there, even if I couldn't see it. Around 11, I decided to pack up. That's when I heard it. A knock. From directly below me. One solid hit against the wooden support beam, then silence. Then, again. Knock, pause, knock. Slow. Even controlled, like someone was hitting the wood. On purpose. I leaned forward, looking through the cracks in the floor, trying to see underneath. But it was too dark, too still. The sound didn't change, didn't get faster, didn't get louder. It just kept going. Steady, like breathing. I shouted down, said I was armed. The knocking stopped instantly, and the silence that followed was worse. I didn't move for almost 40 minutes, just listening, waiting, nothing. Finally, I decided to climb down slowly, carefully, rifle ready. Halfway down the ladder, I stopped, because something didn't make sense. The last knock hadn't come from under the stand. It came from right beneath the first step. I forced myself to keep going. When my foot touched the ground, I stepped back and circled the stand. That's when I saw it. A small hole in the dirt, fresh, like someone had been digging with their hands. And next to it, the knife, dark handle, broken blade, half buried, placed exactly where I had been sitting above. I didn't touch it, didn't get close. I turned around and walked straight back to my truck. Didn't look behind me once. I called the sheriff when I got home, he said, without a body or a direct threat. There wasn't much they could do. But a week later, he called me back. They found a campsite deep in those woods. Looked like someone had been living there for months. No ID, no gear worth taking, just signs that someone had been watching. I never went back to that stand, not once. Dennis knows that. He's never asked why, because a few days later, I opened the trunk of my truck, and the knife was inside. Clean, no dirt, no rust, just sitting there, like it had been placed carefully, waiting. And this time, I could read the initials. They weren't random, they were mine, the same initials I've been carving into my tools for years. Told myself it was distance. furred coat, long dark hair hanging loose, arms at her sides. She wasn't moving at all. I stood up slowly, raised a hand, waved. No reaction. I called out, asked if she needed help. The sound barely carried across the field, and the forest gave me nothing back. She didn't move, didn't respond, didn't even shift her weight. She was just looking at me, so I started walking toward her. Slow at first, then a little faster. With every step, I expected something, a wave back, a shout, anything, nothing. She just stood there, watching me. I'd made it maybe 100 meters, and then I noticed something that didn't make sense. She wasn't getting any closer. I stopped, looked around, looked back at her. Same distance, exactly the same. I rubbed my eyes, took a few more steps, still the same. That's when something in my chest dropped. I looked away for just a second, just to clear my head. When I looked back, the field was empty. No movement, no sound, no one there. I had stood there for a while, trying to process it. Then I told myself she left, that I just didn't notice. Big field, tree line, easy to lose someone. It made sense. It had to. I went back to my position, sat down, tried to focus again. About an hour later, I looked up, and she was back. Same place, same posture, arms at her sides, head slightly tilted forward, looking directly at me. This time, I didn't move. I just watched her, and she watched me. It felt wrong, like the air had changed, like the woods were holding their breath. I don't know how long it lasted. Time didn't feel normal anymore. Eventually, the light started fading, and I knew I had to head back. I didn't tell Marco right away. Didn't want to sound insane, but that night, we were sitting by the fire, flames low, just embers. Marco suddenly set his cup down, didn't look at me, and said, "Did you see someone out in the field today?" My stomach dropped. "Why?" I asked. He paused, then said, "I saw a woman standing there, just watching you. I thought you knew her." We didn't say anything after that. We both went into our tents and zipped them shut. Neither of us suggested staying up. The next morning, I stepped outside first. The ground was wet, soft, and right at the entrance of my tent, I saw it. A footprint small, a woman's shoe, just one, only one, like she had taken a single step, and then stopped, facing the tent. We packed up immediately, didn't eat, didn't talk, the entire drive back. Silence. Marco put his rifle in the back seat, and never touched it again. He's never gone back to those woods. Neither have I, but sometimes, late at night, I think about that field, and I wonder if she's still there, standing in the same place, in that same coat, looking at the spot where I used to be, waiting for me to start walking toward her again. The scariest part didn't happen in the woods. It happened 3 days later, when my neighbor told me he saw someone standing by my fence. I've been hunting wild hogs at night for years. The forests around my place in Tennessee, I know them like my own kitchen. Every dip in the ground, every bend in the trail, every patch of soft earth after rain. There's nothing out there I don't recognize. At least, that's what I used to think. That night, I headed out around 10 p.m. rifle, night scope. Same routine as always. The air was still, quiet, no wind, perfect conditions. Around 1 a.m., I caught movement. Brush shifting maybe 70 meters ahead. I raised the rifle, looked through the scope, and saw a man standing completely still, facing me, not moving, not crouched, not hiding. Just standing there, like he had been waiting. I lowered the rifle immediately. You don't shoot at people. I stepped off the trail, quietly, decided to circle around him and head back another way. No reason to take risks, no reason to escalate. I walked for about 10 minutes, careful at first, then faster, until I was sure I had put enough distance between us. That's when I stopped, because he was standing on the trail in front of me. The same man, same posture, same stillness. I hadn't heard a single step, no leaves crunching, no branches moving, nothing. He was just there, watching me. That's when my chest tightened. I turned and went a different direction. Not quiet anymore. Didn't care. My heart was pounding so hard I could feel it in my throat. I pushed through the trees until I reached a small clearing. There's an old shed out there, half collapsed. Been there for years. I stopped when I saw it. He was standing in the doorway, already there, like he knew exactly where I was. Going like he had been waiting for me to arrive. I raised the rifle, fired once into the air. No reaction. I fired again, shouted at him. That's when he moved. Not fast, not startled. He just stepped backward into the darkness of the shed and disappeared. Didn't follow, didn't even think about it. Ran straight back to my truck. Didn't stop, didn't look behind me. I called the police as soon as I got home. They searched the woods, checked the shed. Nothing, no footprints, no signs anyone had been there, like he never existed. 3 days later, my neighbor Jim stopped me by the mailboxes. He asked if I'd been outside the night before. I said no. He frowned, then said he saw someone standing by my fence, just standing there, facing the house. He thought it was me, but I hadn't left the house that night, not even once. That same day, I installed cameras. Front yard, gate, driveway, every angle I could cover. That night, I checked the footage, and I found him, a dark figure by the gate, standing completely still. He didn't move for 10 minutes, not once. Then, slowly, he turned and walked toward the woods. The police said the same thing. No direct threat, nothing they could act on. So I stayed. I still live in that house. The cameras run every night and every morning. Before I even make coffee, I check the footage. 94 nights, nothing. Just empty yard, still fence, quiet woods. Until last night, I opened the recording like always. Expected nothing. At first, it looked empty. Then I noticed something. The timestamp was still moving. The camera was recording, but the yard wasn't in frame anymore. The view was blocked by something standing too close to the lens. A dark shape filling the screen, not moving. And then, slowly, it leaned back, just enough for me to see him, standing right under the camera, looking up, directly at it, like he knew I'd be watching.